Now I am going to show how to integrate the Mollie payment gateway with Laravel 11 application. So I am going to my root. This is www folder, then Laravel 11 folder, and here I am going to install a fresh Laravel. Okay, so I am going to open terminal in this location, and now I am going to use the composer. So composer, then create project, and then Laravel / Laravel, and then I am going to write here, for example, the project name is payment Mollie. Okay, so a new fresh Laravel is going to be installed here. You will see this is the folder. It is going to be installed. Just wait for some time and it will be installed within short time. So the installation is done, and now I am going to enter into the folder that is payment Mollie, and in this location I am going to run php artisan serve command. So a test server, a development server is going to run here, so I am going there. So this is a fresh Laravel, it is installed, you see, and in the bottom you are seeing the Laravel version is 11.6.0. So my task is now to work with it. So first I am going to open this main folder with my VS Code editor. Okay, so here you see .env file, and in the env file I will write some codes here. This is important. Another one is route, this one I will work also here, and in the resources views welcome. You see when I run this, you will see that a nice interface comes, and this code is actually given in this HTML. So I am going to remove everything and just I am going to put test. Now let's run it. You see it is working, test. Okay, so I will write my code here, that is for example HTML sample, and here I will write some a form to submit the payment. But before going there, I am going to open a help file, that is mollie_laravel.txt. I created this file for you so that you can easily integrate the Mollie with Laravel 11 application. You see I have completed all these steps and I have the key in my hand. Now this is the test card. I will work with that later. Now my task is to install a package. In order to work with Mollie payment gateway, I am going to install the package. So how I can install the package here? The code here given, this is a GitHub website. Now here I am going to paste that link, and you will see that the GitHub website link is this. So this is the Mollie payment gateway integration page. So here they tell everything, how you will proceed, how you will install it, everything is given here. You see there is a code composer require Mollie, Laravel Mollie. So that code I already write here, so you can also copy from here or from here, and then in the terminal of my website here I am going to install that package. So paste it into here, and it is going to be installed using the VS Code terminal. Okay, so this is done. Now I am going to check if it is installed. So go to vendor, and you will see that there is a Mollie should be here. Yes, there is a Mollie. This package installed here successfully. So this is a step you see here. So I am now in this stage. Now here .env file, I will create database later, but for now Mollie key is important, so I am going to copy this. It is also given here, Mollie key equal to this one. I will have to put it into the env file. So I am going to open my .env file, and in the .env file in the bottom I am going to paste it. What is the Mollie key? I have Mollie test key in my hand. You know, in the API keys here, test API key is this. So I am going to copy this key and I am going to paste that key here. Sorry, this one. Okay, so this is my Mollie API key. In my case it is this one, right? So okay, now I am going to the view. Here I am going to copy this code, and in the welcome blade here I am going to paste this code. Here you see the product is equal to laptop, price equal to $10, and product name, quantity, price, etc. given here. Product name laptop, quantity is one piece, price is $10. Okay, so pay with Mollie. Here you see there is a route. Before going to create route, I will have to create a controller, that is Mollie controller. So let's create the controller now. So I am going to terminal php artisan make controller, then Mollie controller. You will see into the app http, the Mollie controller comes here. So this is my controller, and in the web.php I will have to copy this code. I copy from here, and into my web.php I will have to define the route here. So this one I am going to write in the top, Mollie controller I call, and into the Mollie controller I am going to create some functions into this class, that is Mollie function, success and cancel. This is the route. First route is Mollie, that means it is a post route, and success and cancel, these are the get route. Now I am going to create those function here, that is already given here. How I will proceed the migration and migration file code, I will work with this later. I am coming here, Mollie controller, and here in the top you will have to use this code. I am going into the top of my Mollie controller, and here I am going to paste it. It is important, Mollie Laravel facet Mollie. This one you will have to write here. If you want, you can see everything here, because here already this code are given, right? I just get the code from here. Now what I will do, the next step is to create two functions, total 3 functions into the class. One is Mollie, this one, another one is success, another one is cancel. I am going to copy all this from here and paste it here. I will explain how I wrote the code here. I will tell you what are the meanings of the code, so there will be no problem at all. Here you see that how I get this code. It is given actually by the documentation. Here they give me the prepare payment function, but instead of this I call it the Mollie function. You can give any function name, whatever you want, you can use here, no problem at all. Here you see Mollie API payment create. So all this code, Mollie API payments create, all are given here, right? So currency equal to this, value equal to this. These two items, that is currency, I just use here USD, no problem. If you want, you can take the currency from here using the hidden field, or whatever you want, you can send the value here. And the value of the price I send from the form. So here you see this is the route. In the form action I use this route. So all the data I will pass from using the form, and in the form you see there is a variable price. This is $10. So that value I am going to take here using the request of price. As this is the post route, I get all the data using the request. So using the request variable of the request class, I get all the data. So the price I get using this way. And another one is the request of product name. So as a description, I can just put the request of my product name, that is laptop. Okay, the quantity I am not going to use here. I will use that later, but for now it is okay. You see webhook URL, I do not actually need it. I am not going to use the webhook URL. This system I am not going to use. So I just commented this way. Okay, so redirect URL is important. In my case, the success route is route success. So my redirect URL is route success. So when the payment will be done and everything, before going to the first step, that means to the checkout page, I will have to verify it by the Mollie key. So how I can verify it? The Mollie key that you will use here. You see in the env file, I already used the Mollie key. So here I actually do not need to use anything here. Just you use the amount, currency, value, description, redirect URL, and here there is a order ID. So how I actually can verify it? So in order to verify this thing, how actually it is going to be worked, that is Mollie class. You see there is API function payments create. So if I stop the payment here, if I want to see what is actually into the payment variable, then you will understand. Here I am going to refresh this page. You see pay with Mollie comes here. If you click here, what is going to be happen? It is giving me some information, some payment information I get in my hand. How I get the payment information in my hand? You see the resource is payment, and here you see all the data are given here. Resource payment ID equal to this one. This ID is very important. This is a payment ID. I will need that later. Resource payment, and here you will see that the status is open. The status open means actually the payment is not completed yet, so the status is showing open. So it is important that you will have to complete the status. So as this is in a open as open now, and here you will see the order ID. I am going to give a random ID. That means the current timestamp value I can put as a metadata. If you want, you can insert anything as a metadata. You can use other parameters also, so no problem. So it is not needed. Only order ID is enough for now. So from here I am in this stage now. So if I bypass this stage, that means here on another thing is important. I will have to redirect the user to the Mollie checkout, or in that page, another page I will have to pass the user, right? Mollie checkout page. Here you see I already have written the comment that redirect the customer to the Mollie checkout page. So after this stage, when I will send the user to the checkout page, then all data will be lost, but I will have to capture that information, that is the payment ID. How I get the payment ID? You see, when I use the DD payment, then I have some ID in my hand. Payment is actually the main variable, right? And here you see this is coming, that is ID. So how I get that ID? That is payment of ID. This is an object. As this is an object, I can get all the data from here as the object method, that is payment, this symbol and ID. So I am going to put this into session variable, so that if I pass the user to the checkout page, this payment ID is not lost. So I will have to capture that in my hand, because up to when the payment is done, I will need this ID to verify the payment. So payment ID is in my hand. Another one is quantity. A request of quantity, you know, I have in my hand, because using the form I pass the quantity here. So the quantity I will also have. If you want that you will save the quantity into database, then you can just save it using the session variable. Then I am redirecting the user to the Mollie checkout page. When this user is going to the checkout page, then what is going to be happen? Let's check it again. I am going back. If you click here, now it will take you to the checkout page, right? You see I am now into the Mollie page, mollie.com checkout, credit card embedded, and this is the ID. Okay, so I have the payment ID in my hand, remember it. So you see, when I am in the success, that means when you will put the sample card number, card holder expiry, and click on pay, then what will happen? It will take you to the payment ID is important here. I am going to show the DD. I am in here, and if I now submit the information, let's check what is going to be happen, so you will understand. RFIN expiry date equal to 12/2/7, any CVV number, pay. Now you see that this is actually the payment ID, right? molliecontroller.php. I am going to get the payment ID. This payment ID is actually in the session variable. That means before coming here, I put the real payment ID into session variable. That is I am going to show here. I am going to comment it, and this payment ID that is in my session variable, I am going to use as the into the parameter of the Mollie class API payments and get. Here I am going to pass this as a parameter, so payment ID, and this is the payment. So what is now the payment data will be in my hand. So I did the payment again. What is in my hand now? So if I refresh it, you will see that all the payment data is into your hand now. So payment mode is test. You see the transaction ID is showing here. The important thing is status. You see now the status is paid. In this stage before the success, here you saw that the status is open, and now in this stage you see the status is paid. Now I will check that if the status is okay. If I comment it, that means payment data is in my hand. Now I will check that if the status, if this status is equal to paid, then only I will save the data into the database, because the payment is completed. So there is paid function here, so I call here payment is paid. So if payment is paid, that means if payment is completed, then I will insert the data into my database. But I did not create any migration file yet, so I will create that now. So go to the terminal, I am going to create the migration. I already have that code here, so I am going to use this. For example, this one, payments table, I am going to create a payments table now. So here PHP artisan make migration, create payments table. You will see that into the database folder migration, there will be a payments table, right? So here I am going to use the information. Which information I will use? You will see that here for the migration file, these are the extra items I am going to copy, and here I am going to paste it. So this will be the fields: payment ID, product name, quantity, amount, currency, status, and method. Now I will have to migrate it. But before going to that stage, I will have to go to the env file, and I will select the DB connection as MySQL, not SQLite. I will use MySQL. So all these things I will have to enable now. So here you see DB host, port given, database name I want to give, for example, payment Mollie, and root, and here it will be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 will be database username, root, and password is this. Now if I want to migrate, PHP artisan migrate, it will ask me there is no table into your database. There is no database by this name, payment Mollie. So first it will create database. If I press enter, then first it will create the payment Mollie database, and then it will create the payments table into there. So enter, you see creating migration table is done, preparing database is done, running migration, everything is done. So now let's check what is happened. I am going to check into my PHP myadmin, and here after login you will see that a payment Mollie, this has been created. So this table is created. So my database name is payment Mollie. This database is created, and into this database all are these tables except payments, all are the default tables, and payments is the custom table that I have set up the fields. Where I have set up the fields, whose fields will be created, I gave into the migrations file. So there is no data here yet, you see. Now I will insert the data into the database and it will work. But before going there, I am going to create a model, PHP artisan make model, and payment, that means the singular name of the table will be used as the model. I have created model because I will use the eloquent system in order to insert the data into the database. So here I am going to close this, and into the Mollie controller, into the top, I will have to call that is model. So app models payment. So now I will be able to use this as the eloquent method. You see, I create an object here. So payment ID equal to payment ID, that is into the session variable, you know, and product name will be payment description. You see, if I go to this stage, you will see there will be some information here, that is description. So description means laptop, right? I sold the laptop here, so from this field laptop I get the information. If you want, you can also put the session, you can take a extra session variable for the product name and show it here also. You can also do in the same thing in that way. But as they return me the product description, so I just put the description here. Another one is quantity, that is I also created this here, that means I put the quantity into a quantity session variable, and that I am going to show here. That means the quantity session variable data will be shown here, will be set up here. Object quantity equal to this, and amount equal to payment amount value. So where is this? The main variable is payment, and then you see there is the amount. If you click here, you will see there is a value. So payment, then into their amount, and then into their value, that is 10.00 USD. So that I put here, that is payment amount value. Another one is payment amount currency, that you will see payment amount, and this is currency USD. And another one is payment status completed. If you want, you can call the default status that is given here, normal status, as paid, or if you want to change it, you can straight call it completed. And payment method I also put here in the hard code, that is Mollie. So object saved, so all this data will be saved into the payments table. And then after this task, I will clear the session variable information that was saved in previous, that is payment ID and quantity, and then it will show you payment is successful. If the paid is false, then it will take you to the cancel route where it is showing payment is cancelled. So this is very straightforward and easy method. I am going to show you now the main thing, what is going to be happened. I am going back. From here I will show you. You see in the table there is no information now. Now I am going to pay with Mollie. Also before going there, I am going to here, and you see there is a payments. You see it is paid some times ago. So I am going to pay again. But now for this time I am going to change the value of the price. For example, $40, and here it will be 40.00. Now let's check it. I am going back again, refresh. You see $40, pay with Mollie. Now I will use a test card here like this, and card holder name is this one, for example my name, and expiry date equal to this one, any CVV number, pay. Now you will see that payment is successful. That means after every step is completed, it is successful. If I go here and refresh, you will see the last transaction will be shown here now, that is 40 USD. So you see this is 40 USD, this is paid. Laptop, this is the detail, and date is this. So transaction is completed. Paid means it is actually completed. And if I now go to my database, refresh, you will see that payment ID is this, product name, quantity, amount, currency, status, payment method, everything is saved here. So I hope you have understood how to integrate the Mollie payment gateway in Laravel 11.